I think we're unmuted. Hello? Hello?
Really pulling out
There
all
you
the
go.
stops today. You're even unmuting us? Goddamn.
Yeah, there we go. You're finally unmuted because I can't see to click the right fucking button. Hello? Shit, it's been a few weeks. Oh, damn. This is new. I feel like it's kind of a cross between a stoner high and a euphoric, fuck fest. Does that make sense? There we go.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, it sounds like playing World of Warcraft in today's times. Oh, Mr. Misek, how the fuck are you?
I feel like goddamn shit.
Uh,
That's
Good to see
nothing
some
new.
things never change. Yeah, just like getting fucked in the ass by 10.2 and Blizzard, and I
Ain't
didn't
that
play
the fucking
Diablo, but
truth?
apparently Diablo's bad. Um, is Diablo still bad?
Uh, of course.
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, what would you expect it any
I
other
think
way?
they tried to make it not bad, but that's not going to happen.
Tried to make it not bad. It's not as bad as it was. It's still bad, but not as bad as.
Yeah, it's still bad. It's just it's not as bad. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not as bad. It's
It's not
fine.
as bad. Here's 20% off. Please buy our game. I think that's kind of what happened. I saw it was on sale a couple weeks ago. I didn't. I didn't buy it. I
Yeah,
just
I
saw it
mean,
was on.
it it it's something that really irritates me. Because it's not like it's horrible. It's just not good. It's one of those things like it's still a beta, or even an alpha, in my opinion.
Early
Like,
access.
yeah, and it may remain so for like the first few seasons, and it's to the point where like different seasonal content is like, oh look, we're adding stuff, and they're adding like really stupid low end crap, and then concentrating on adding features that should have been in the game
Oh, no.
day one.
But you get a new expansion every year.
Yeah, sure you do. You got to pay for it, but you can do that.
That's what they said. You get a new expansion every year you can buy that will fix the game.
Yeah, eat my ass. Eat my ass.
Oh God! Speaking of ass eating.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
we're,
you're excited, huh?
oh yeah, and I love the taste of shit in my mouth.
I mean, that seems like we get that a lot.
We deal with it a lot anyway. Oh, well, when's the last time you even logged into WoW?
Ooh, I logged in a couple days ago because a guildie needed some stuff made. Like, I think what was it? My sub ran out, and I didn't want to pay for a token, like, because the token prices are stupid high still.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And it's like I've got the gold to do it, but like, why bother? But who was it? I think it was Steven wanted me to make his legendary stuff for him, so I
Oh,
went
did he
ahead
finally
and
get his Lego?
yeah, I went ahead and paid $15 and activated for a month and got him his Lego. And since then, I've logged in to make some stuff for a couple people
You
and
mean
then
you're not
logged
as
out.
dumb as me and buy it 6 months at a time?
I mean, I've done that before, but
Okay.
right now, no.
Okay.
No, in fact, if like as much gold as I fucking have, I would still probably not be spending it, um, you know, on this kind of stuff. It's just you know, like I've got other stuff that I would rather spend it on. It's in-game currency. Like, why would I want to spend it on game time?
True. I get your point. See, I logged in last week for when we actually did another rating. That was the last time.
Yeah, I remember. I was there for that, literally because I had resubbed for Steven's stuff.
Yeah, I miss everybody.
Yeah, same.
That's about it. I'm not
Like,
gonna lie. I'm just kind of done with the game at the moment. I really am.
yeah, I mean, that's the hard part for me. Like, I want to spend time with the people there. But every time I even think about the game, I get angry, and not a little angry, like stupid, like you're gonna have a fucking stroke if you keep acting like that angry. You know?
Don't get mad, get glad, John. It's a saying.
Well, I mean, it is a trash game, so that works.
True.
I mean, at least it fucking feels like it a lot of the time. It really does.
Well, is it going to get better?
You know, from what I've been seeing, probably fucking not.
Look,
Probably
damn, you had me
fucking not.
going for a second. You made me think like, hey, maybe he's got a little positive spin.
Well, you know, I feel like the past experience, like I loved Shadowlands, and I feel like most of Dragonflight, I've put a good spin on things. I've always tried to say, oh, well, you know, I can see what they're trying to do, and it's a good first attempt, and it's, you know, a few iterations down the line, it'll be good. I'm kind of done with that. I am. I'm kind of done with that. I'm kind of done, like, making excuses for them and being like, oh, you know, they have other stuff to do, and they tried, and like I can see where they were going from it, and then, like, you know, 2 patches later, well, you know, that one thing may be a little bit better than it was to begin with, and then they find some new way to fuck it up. I swear to God, it feels like they've got like some D rank indie developers, like 8th grade students trying to do their project in Unity or some shit.
Not
and they're fucking
not
like,
even that. Not even that, because fucking 8th graders would have more common sense than some of this shit I'm reading. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
I swear to God, you know, they've got some fucking, you know, 8th graders running shit through Chat GPT to create the code, and then they've got like one guy, one grizzled motherfucker back there behind everything that like sleeps 1 hour a night and goes behind them all to try and fix it, and it takes forever because he's trying to fix every fucking thing in the entire fucking company. That's what it feels like.
Oh, it's I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. They've went so far away, you know, from last year when they were talking. Oh, you know, we're going to listen to the community, and we're going to, you know, do all this wonderful stuff to make the game feel like WoW again, and you know, it's going to become your game again, and all of this, you know, just wonderful things that they were talking about, and how quickly that has shifted in a couple of patches. I mean fuck, really.
They might it might be someone's game again. It sure as fuck ain't mine. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. Just reading over some of this shit is I'm just like, come the fuck on, Blizzard. Seriously. Does anybody at Blizzard even play the fucking game? That's part of what I'm wondering. I've seen, I see where the president, whatever his name at what Mike Ibarra, I think's his name.
Yeah,
quick on the X, and I see where he streams it every now and then, but he's basically quit streaming WoW. He's playing other things. So,
I wonder why.
yeah, but I mean, but he doesn't say anything. Like it's all positive. Yeah,
Didn't he call out Asmongold recently or some shit? Didn't he
uh,
or was that someone else? Didn't he get online and he was like, I don't know where the fuck he gets all this shit from. He doesn't even raid anymore or some shit like that.
yeah. I don't know if it was him, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go back. I have to go back and double check that. Somebody did call him out. I remember that it was on the Limit Maxis, stream that called him out. I forget what it was, and
I
but yeah,
I don't
saying where he-
understand that kind of shit.
So-
If someone is not playing the game anymore, and your point is that they're not playing the game, it's like
and he
maybe ask them why.
and
You know?
he's just just the biggest WoW streamer in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
he fuck him, right?
And you know what? If the biggest WoW streamer in the world stops playing WoW,
yeah,
maybe you've gone around the bend a little fucking bit.
Just
saying.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
at some
the dude
point,
or not,
yeah.
It is what it is. Like, you should be trying, at least listening to the guy. Like, you ain't got to do everything he says, but I mean, just
Yeah,
keep an open mind to it. But fuck,
at some point you got to stop and say, all right, even if we disagree, clearly he's got a following, and that following is a very large part of our player base.
Yeah.
And if a very large part of our player base is very clearly unhappy, and it's not the 10 guys that post on the forum, maybe we should think about that for a little bit.
You would think. I'm trying to Google it real quick.
Google.
Yeah, it was him. It was Mikey Barra. Yeah,
that's what I figured.
Yeah,
I figured it was Mikey Barra.
Says Asmongold can't raid heroic or mythic anymore. Quote unquote on Limit Max's stream.
And you know what? If he can't raid heroic or mythic anymore, and literally he has in the past few patches, so I don't know what
he used to be
about.
A mythic before he got all famous and shit. He was a mythic raider and got gladiator every year.
Oh yeah,
season. Like
I believe
it's not like Asmongold was a bad player,
but if it's at the point where he does, I think the idea that someone doesn't do it anymore and can't do it anymore are often conflated.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between doesn't do it and can't do it.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I've rated, hardcore before. Doesn't mean I don't do it now. Doesn't mean I can't do it again.
Yeah,
I've fully devoted myself to it.
Yeah, I think that I
don't know.
I always go back and forth on it. Like, I don't think that I could raid Mythic anymore.
Oh,
I think I've got the skill level for it. Like, I just feel like
you definitely got the skill level for it.
Yeah, I feel like my disability would come back to bite me in the ass.
It's just
that's all it really is.
Yeah, there's just so much dedication to it. You have to be able to dedicate so much to it. Oh, have to, and
oh yeah, and my dick's out to the people that actually can.
Well, Blizzard's got their dick out for your ass right now for 10.2.
You ain't fucking wrong there. God damn.
So here's the Cliff Notes version of what you gave me. Art design.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
you know
Tell me how
the art
wonderful
design.
that is.
I'm torn on the art design. It's not bad, but it's all stuff that we've seen before. It's like, oh look, they're a druid of the flame, and you know what? It makes sense for there to be a druid of the flame motif right now. It does. Um, but as much as that may make sense, why is it? It feels like it's been carbon copied from every other druid of the flame thing that we've seen. Um, the entire Emerald Dream, like it doesn't look bad. It looks maybe a little unsaturated, uncolorful, but you're going to the place that is life itself. Life itself, druids. Uh, this is the most druidy druid that has ever druided place, and we get this sort of half-assed half-assed looking coloration to it. It just doesn't look or feel special. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's not what they want to do, I guess. But it's not what I would have expected. It's not what I would have expected, you know.
It's not. Uh, this is my thing. My biggest issue with this patch coming up is like, do you remember this was obviously a few years ago, but they were talking like Emerald Dream was going to be its own fucking expansion.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do remember hearing that kind of stuff.
And then they had the one zone in Legion. I forget the name of the zone, but they had that zone.
Yeah.
And then you had there's another zone in the old world now that they still never did anything with.
That they never did anything with.
Yeah. Well, no. There's a whole nother zone of fuck. It's in the old world. It's not, it's not the what. It's not the Druid zone. It's not the Veiled Forest. It's not
Okay.
Ashen Vale. It's a completely. I'd have to go. I'll have to pull up a WoW map and see. But there's a whole nother zone that was supposed to be like Druid related that they never finished. They never opened up or anything like that.
I wonder which one you're talking about.
I'm googling it now. But
the only thing I can think of is like Hyjal, but like Hyjal's there now. It has been since Cataclysm.
Yeah, and Hyjal's Hyjal's also a raid too. It's been used a couple of times now, right?
Yep. Though Hyjal is a raid and Hyjal is a zone, way different.
Okay, no, maybe it is Emerald Dream because that's the first one that pops up. It's because there's a zone called Emerald Dream. It's in the patch files. It's been in the patch since 0.5. If that tells you anything.
That I believe. I can absolutely believe that they had this idea and that they just never fucking acted on it.
Yep.
And now they're kind of trying to act on it. That wouldn't surprise me.
And that makes sense. According to the WoW wiki, the Emerald Dream was originally it's considered internally as a 40-man raid instance.
A 40? Really?
Yes. That's the original plan. That's the original zone.
One of those things where they had this concept of it back in vanilla, and it just never happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I could see that. Sure.
So, but yeah, but yeah. There's a few other places too, but God, I really just need a picture of the fucking map. There we go. No, that's. God damn it! I'm going to have to log into the fucking game. So,
You're
goddamn man.
you're gonna be like, oh, it was Moonglade or some shit. It's like, no.
Something like that. That I would sound less stupid if I would just actually look up what I was talking about. But yeah, it's. But yeah, I don't. It just it to me that's the most underwhelming part of it. To me is just like how do we go from this might be an expansion to oh mate here's a patch.
It's not the first time they've done that. I'm positive that it's not the first time where they've gone, hey, we're going to do this whole thing and it's going to be great. And then it's like, oh, well, we'll devote like a patch or half a patch to it. It'll be fine. Didn't they do that in WoD?
I don't remember what the fuck they done with WoD.
Or maybe it was Burning Crusade. I remember that Hellfire Peninsula was supposed to be a whole deal, and then it was going to be like it it was almost supposed to have like its own expansion and patch, and then it didn't happen. There were a number of things like that where they had this idea, and it just never makes it out of that idea stage, I guess.
Yeah. See. I'm looking at the map now. It's like there used to be and it's still there. It's like there's a little zone that's like right in between the Mount Hydral zone and Ashara, and it's still there.
I don't know.
So
Doesn't sound like anything I can think of.
Well, you still got like you got like if you look at the map of Kalimdor, you've got up at the top you've got Telsherdale or however you pronounce that. I'm not a druid or night elf player, so the proper pronunciation can kiss my ass. You've got Dark Shore, Winter Spring, and then you've got Mount Hygel.
Okay.
Right next to Fellwood. And then there's just a itty bitty little zone right in between Ashenvale, Mount Hygel, and the Shara. And it's just a tiny little spot.
I don't think that's a zone.
Well,
I think that's literally
it's literally just a part on the map, and you can go to it. And if you go to it, it still has the like a construction sign there that still says like under construction or something like that.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and it's been there since vanilla.
Huh.
Yeah. So
I wonder what that's all about.
So, well, it was rumored that was supposed to be like an instance portal to the Emerald Dream. That was what was rumored for the longest time, and that it's something that never played out. Because it was also rumored that giant instance portal in Stormwind that's locked behind the gate that you can't get to.
Yeah.
It's been there since pretty much since vanilla 2, if I remember correctly. Was also supposed to be a Stormwind portal to the Emerald Dream Zone. It was rumored to be that as well.
Uh, I feel like a lot of times in the past, and probably now too, like WoW players have this idea, and like some fucking 12-year-old one time says this thing, and someone else thinks it sounds cool, so this rumor gets started, and it's really, just some fucking under construction thing that had nothing to do with that. Like,
Yeah,
I I,
it's
I have a
tons
feeling
of
most of that
rumors,
shit's bullshit.
tons of rumors. It is what it is. But it's something. It just again, it really makes 10.2 come off as half-assed to me.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you, you get what I'm
I'm
saying.
definitely not happy with what I'm seeing for 10.2. Um,
But now I can log out of this shitty game. All right. Uh, oh, I feel horrible. Uh, but yeah. We can also go to another thing. I can tell that you're really excited. You're really really excited about the healing changes.
oh, shut your mouth. Shut your fucking whore mouth. No, this has been a long time in coming. Healers are in a weird place because WoW's own design over time has changed.
Mm.
Like I remember back in Vanilla and BC and Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm and Mop and up through around then, there was this idea like what you wanted to do is you wanted to hold your cooldowns for very specific points, so that during those specific points you could make sure that just a ridiculous amount of healing went out, and it cost a lot of mana. But the big thing was that it was a cooldown. There was a lot more emphasis on mana management, you know. And then at some point, some jackass was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if healers started doing DPS instead?" So that became a thing, right? And over time, we evolved to a place where um, healers with their cooldowns kind of just throw everything against the wall on cooldown and then see what sticks. And the reason is that if you're not doing that, you're not being mana efficient, and in it, you're not being cooldown efficient. You're not getting the most use out of your cooldowns. Like if I can use my cooldowns 4 times in a fight, but I only use them 2 times in a fight because I hold it for the best time, then I'm not being efficient, right? So the idea
Yeah,
is we will constantly do that, and then healers almost never really have to worry about their mana. Like once in a blue moon, like like
unless you're a monk.
you do have people that will run out of mana, and most of the time it's quite literally because they're not rotating their cooldowns. They're not
Mm-hmm.
hitting their cooldowns on fucking cooldown, basically.
Or over healing, like healing when there's.
Well, no,
I see a
you
lot
are
of that too.
always overhealing. There is no question. Like the typical overhealing can be anywhere from like 30 to 80%, depending on the fight and the healing comp and all that shit. And it's because of this design that they have, right?
Yeah,
It's because of this design that they have to just flat out like hurl it out there, right? And so they've decided this expansion that they don't like that design as much anymore, but they decided, and I've been criticizing this since the beginning of the expansion, they or actually since before it, because they started making the changes then. They decided that in order to fix that, what they're going to do is increase damage output and decrease health. So increase, or rather increase health. So they increase health a little bit, and then they increase the amount of incoming damage. So all the damage that we see in these fights have a modifier on top of it, and it's gone through like 3 or 4 changes now, and each time it's been like, you know what, we're just gonna make shit do 25% more damage. You know what, we're gonna do it again. Let's do it again. And it's always, well, you know, we think that healing is too powerful, or tanks are tanks and DPS like they're not dying immediately on hit, so therefore, you know, you're fucked. What they've done is they've made it to the point where, uh, like most shit, you're going to die unless you get immediate ridiculous healing. Okay? So because you're going to die unless you get immediate ridiculous healing, healers continue to throw everything against the wall to be as efficient as possible, just rotate through their cooldowns. And Blizzard is tired of that, so they're nerfing the cooldowns, they're nerfing your mana pool, they're nerfing your mana regen, they're increasing the cost of spells, they're nerfing the healing coming from AoE healing spells. They're increasing your most inefficient spells um, for single target healing. I don't understand where the you know what they could have done? They could have increased health, uh, reduced mana efficiency, removed their healers trying to do DPS shit, and um, you know, just had them worry about managing mana. Now they're worried about managing mana, and they may not be able to heal enough to get it through, because you're just going to wind up with people without cooldowns or mana, because you still have to throw everything against the wall just in order for people to survive, and that's not efficient, so you're going to run out of mana. It's fucking ridiculous. You know, it needs a redesign, and this seems like it's going to cause the same fucking issue that they're trying to quote unquote fix. And it seems to me that a lot of the issue that they're quote unquote trying to fix is their own fucking fault, as usual.
I was about to say it's self inflicted. It's an issue that they made so that it looks like that they've got an issue to fix. Does that make sense?
I don't even know that I feel like they did it on purpose like that.
Right.
Like because that's kind of what it implies. I don't think that that's the case. I think they're just really that fucking stupid. I think they're really that bad. And you know what? A lot of people, um, a lot of people over the years have gotten into this mindset where they want to blame uh, anybody but the developers, right? It's like, well, you know, the fucking executives, they're assholes, and they're just trying to monetize something, and they told them to make the game worse because of that. No, the developers are fucking bad. They are, and they have been getting worse and worse over time. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
So, what would you do different?
For healing,
Yeah.
um, what would I do different for healing? I would probably do some of the same stuff that they're doing now, but you would also need to increase health pools and walk back that damage that's coming in ridiculously. I feel like people that are playing at the mythic level and maybe the high-end heroic level that do some mythic, I feel like they're probably going to be okay. Maybe not in every situation. Maybe there's going to be a little tuning that needs to be done. I feel like in general they're going to be all right. I feel like everybody else is going to be fucked. You know, I feel like everybody else is going to be. sitting there, like this entire expansion, everybody has agreed that healers have gotten it in the ass over and over again. Okay? Everybody has agreed, okay, healing has been way more difficult this expansion because of how they've decided to design things. And I don't see that getting any better unless they do a complete overhaul. And a lot of that overhaul is going to be a change in design, and some of it's going to be reverting changes that they made to fix what they're going to have to try and now fix. It seems like anytime they try and fix something, they make it worse. And they say, oh, well,
Yeah.
it's better now. It is. It's like, no, it maybe it goes better with your quote unquote design philosophy or some shit. Maybe maybe it's better to you that the game is able to be played by like 50 people on the face of the entire fucking planet. But that's not what's good for most people. It's not.
Okay. Like I'm just looking through some of these changes. That's what I'm trying to kind of get an idea, because I'm seeing like, now I'm not a healer, so I don't know exactly what a lot of these spells are, of course, but I'm just going by what the sound of it, like red snow druid. You know the healers. So like
Yeah.
they're removing the circle of life and death. Is that the green circle druids drop?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
That's not that. It's a talent. I forget what the talent does. Um but it's a different talent.
So what's the green circle that you stand in that gives you healing?
Efflorescence.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
kind of hit or miss as to how many druids actually even use it. Like in theory, you're supposed to
Okay,
use
it's
it on
loading.
cooldown. In practice, most druids are kind of half-assed about it, and the reason is that it relies on your raid comp standing in it. It only heals. So keep in mind, like we have health pools in like the hundreds of thousands, right?
Yeah.
It heals for like 600 or 800 a tick or some shit like that for 3 people. Now it's up for like, what is it, 30 seconds? So it's up for quite a while. So
Yeah.
if you can get that down, it it's not an extremely expensive spell, but if you can target and get that down in a place where your entire raid can stand for the next 30 seconds, um, then technically you might get like your mana's worth out of it.
Well, maybe
But in
maybe it's
general, you
just
won't.
maybe that's just me, because I was always like, ooh, stand in the circle, stand in the circle. It'll help keep you alive. Stand in the circle, stand in the druid circle.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I
Maybe
remember
it's
this expansion. I got into a raid group with a friend of mine, and he whoever was running the fucking group, I don't know who the fuck it was, but whoever was running the group invited some Russian guy, and the Russian guy kind of took over the raid, and he was directing the healers. It's like, we've got 5 or 6 druids, and I don't see any fucking circles. Stand in the circle. Stand in the. But it does fucking nothing. Now,
uh,
the one thing that you might make the argument for is there is a actual talent investment, so that when efflorescence heals somebody, it also adds a 6-second hot to them that heals for like 200, 300 per tick. Okay, and you would sit there and think, oh well, that's not much, and you'd be right. But what it does is, by having that extra hot on you, it activates your mastery, and your mastery heals for more. It's an ass backwards way of activating your mastery, is what it is.
Right. So it's an old school mentality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, there's no
Okay.
real good reason for it anymore, in my opinion.
That makes sense. I'm just looking over, like, the doubling down of the whole the AOE nerf single target buff, like Holy Pally. They're you know reducing all healing but buffing Flash of Light and Holy
Yeah.
Light. I'm like, what?
Well,
Okay.
and you're going to see that a lot in the patch
Yeah,
notes. You're going to
I'm
see a
seeing
lot
that a lot.
of it. A lot of it is, oh, by the way, you're really mana inefficient AOE heal that sucks mana like nobody's business, that you can't spam anyways because it sucks so much fucking mana. Yeah, now we're going to make it heal for fucking nothing. And we're going to make your other heal that that takes longer, that you have to cast, and you have to cast repeatedly in order to have anything. It's going to heal for more.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks. And then a lot
Yeah.
of the real spot heal abilities are more like instacast, and most of those haven't been touched.
Wow.
So a lot of that is stuff like with a shaman, it would be like Riptide.
See, like,
Or
I know a little bit about Holy Priest. I'm looking at the Holy Priest ones right now. It's like,
yeah,
so like, the definitely buffing the single target spells, while even the the AOE spells that Holy does do, that they're nerfing, is like spells that hardly healed anything anyway, like Divine Star and Halo. Like, they're nerfing those, and they
it's
hardly
like,
healed much of anything.
oh yeah, like it did not heal much. Like it healed in
It
a
healed
raid
enough
setting.
to where
It can
you should
heal a
use
lot
it,
of
but
people, but
yeah.
it was because it's like it didn't heal much. It
But it
had
healed
a
everything.
higher mana cost, and then the entire thing was like most of them are on like a 15 or 20-second cooldown, so it's not like you're spamming it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. It looks like Discipline's someone that's getting a lot of changes. Um, with Mass Dispel being kind of fucked. You know, PI being nerfed a little bit.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with the PI nerf. Just because maybe that'll calm down. Like, ooh, PI me, ooh, PI me. I want PI nonsense that we get every
The
now and then.
5% nerf isn't going to stop that, and
Oh,
I
damn it.
don't mind it. But if you're going to nerf it, just fucking remove it.
I'm kind
And
of,
and
or
you
at
know
least,
what?
or just make it where it's a self buff. Make it where you can't put it on other people.
Fucking remove it, and then remove Augmentation Evoker 2. And remove Lust, and remove all the buffs. And I mean, it's like,
Okay, you're getting
that,
a little.
that's the fucking direction that we're going in. It's like,
Well,
well, we think it's too much important. No. What happened is you designed like a couple of classes that, like, if they get 25% static haste, that plus lust, plus all this other shit, like, they're the only ones that ever get it because they get stupid benefit out of it, and it's your fucking fault because of how you designed the shit, and now you're pissed about that. No, it's bullshit, and they know it.
Well, I mean, I get it, and that's where I'm at on it as a hunter. Just because hunters have been getting a lot of the shaft lately, because we don't have anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, from a selfish point of view here. I kind of wish that they would either give everybody something or take it all away.
Yeah, I could see
And
that.
so,
I could see where you would feel that way.
the problem with this is, and this is where I'm at on it. And maybe they're heading this way, and they're just not saying it yet. It is maybe they're getting to where, okay, we've got augmentation evoker now. We can get rid of the shit that the other classes have because we got augmentation evoker.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
but it's just what it feels like. It feels like they're dumbing down everything else because of augmentation. Because augmentation evoker is what's buffing. It's your buff. If you want buffs, you better have 2 or 3 fucking augmentation evokers.
Yeah, and you know what? They nerf the fuck out of those too.
Yeah.
They always do. Like they've already... any given chance that they can nerf the fuck out of people, that's what they're gonna do, and it's horseshit. You know, like I understand that they are going to have to make some nerfs occasionally, right?
Yep.
It's a game that's just the fucking way it is. The issue that I'm having here is that they consistently go one way and say, well, we have this as our design philosophy, and then they go the exact opposite way, and then they go the exact opposite way again and again and again, and so they're just really fucking inconsistent is what it is.
Well,
And I don't think that they have an overarching design. I feel like they've got like 50 different or 100 different teams, and none of them know what the other fucking team is doing. And so every time something gets implemented, someone goes, "Oh, well, shit! I don't know what we're gonna do. Does that change things with this thing? Man, wish we had thought about that beforehand."
Well, I notice augmentation's not even mentioned in these patch notes here. Like, it's not even mentioned yet. At least not in these initial notes I'm looking at.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's like got all these other things. You've got devastation, you got preservation, but there's no augmentation notes for evoker.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me at all.
Just curious what they're got. You know they've got to change something. So what are they going to change? That's
well, that or they'll decide that they've changed enough recently on them, because as soon as they released them, the player base went, "Hey, look, you released a broken class. We're gonna fucking play the broken class," and then Blizzard was like, "Oh, well, shit. Guess we're gonna have to nerf the shit out of it." You know, same fucking song and dance as they always have.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of that. You always you always get a lot of that when they do this stuff. So they say the goal is to go to focus on more single target healing and get away from AoE healing.
You know what people don't like? That. You know?
So
this kind of reminds me of like so every other expansion that they will change their tune and decide to target cap everything.
Yeah.
And they'll go, this expansion we have decided that you don't get to AoE stuff down because that's not fun. We want it to be really intuitive, but we feel like you're doing too much damage. And they target cap everything to the point where like there's damn near no AoE, so it's actually more efficient to like try and CC one thing and then keep this other thing interrupted and single target down to third thing, and then dungeons take 2.5 hours. And nobody fucking likes it. So the next expansion, they're like, you know what, we're opening things up, and we're going to uncap all the target things. It's going to be a lot of fun, just like it was before. And then at the end of that expansion, they go, so you guys have been having too much fun, so what we're going to do is we're going to target cap everything.
Yep.
It's the healer version of that.
It's a cycle. It's definitely it's definitely a cycle that they just keep going back and forth on. It's like, you know, how can we? It's kind of like, how can we make the game different? Oh, let's just go back and do what we did a couple years ago. And
I don't want the game different. I want the game better. You know,
right? But you're not getting that. You're getting, oh, you know, look, we changed this. Be happy. That's what you're getting.
And strangely, I'm not happy. How does that work? You know?
It's like, here's a little bit of ice cream with a big turd on it. Be happy. You got ice cream.
Yeah, you know what?
The whole bow your dick in the salad thing. Like, ooh, it's a delicious salad.
We are absolutely going to shit in your mouth, and you're going to enjoy it because at least you have food.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yep. That's exactly the
I'm
concept.
good. I will absolutely happily just eat fucking nothing.
No, you're getting shit, and you're gonna like it.
Well, I mean that's the thing. Like I've said, I probably won't. I'm trying to decide whether I want to play out this last tier and give them a chance, or if I just want to ignore it and then maybe come back in the new expansion or something like that. I don't know.
No, you've got 10.2. You can make it through the start of 10.2. I think you will.
I might be able to. It's just like,
well, whether or not you're playing by Christmas might be a different story. But
you know, there's only so much shit a man can eat.
Agreed. I've been there. Probably will be. I'm probably there now. You know, there's just so many other fucking games out right now. Like, why would I deal with this shit when I've got, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield and, you know, so much other stuff that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other awesome games out there that I am absolutely enjoying.
Blowing my mind this year for games is, oh my god. All the games that's come out this year, and there's still more to come out. I'm looking forward to. Fuck, my wallet's crying, but I'm.
Your wallet's crying, but you are fucking happy.
Fuck
yep,
yeah.
I fucking know the feeling, man.
I'm glad I upgraded this computer last year because, damn.
There's a game that I've been waiting on for like 2 or 3 years now, and I backed on Kickstarter. And it just got delayed till November. It was supposed to come out in a few days, and I'm torn because I'm happy that they delayed it because it wasn't ready, and I'm pissed because I really wanted to play it.
Yeah.
But like I can play it now, but with like half of its content gone, and
it's one of those games. It's like, you know, you'll love it. You're going to love it. You will. I'm pretty sure. So here we go. We'll get back on topic here. All right. Another wonderful thing they're doing. You know, here finally it just took them, you know, a whole, you know, they've had a 0.5 patch and a 0.7 patch. So now in 0.2 they're finally going to make crests a currency and not take up backspace.
Yeah. So crests are no longer going to take up bag space, and they're getting rid of crest fragments.
Yeah,
entirely.
No fragments. It's just going to be whole crests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're increasing the number of crests that you need to level, and they're increasing the number of levels that you need to put into your gear. So you know.
Yeah,
you're still eating a shit sandwich, but you know
it's got taste your bread.
at the very least, we are getting back some fucking bag space. This whole fucking expansion has been like, how much shit can we shove in your goddamn bags, right?
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn. Like,
Yeah. But you get 4 more slots if you have an authenticator.
yeah, I've got an authenticator. I still don't have 4 more slots.
Uh-huh. No, you have to get the mobile authenticator.
Eat my ass. I can't get the mobile authenticator, and I don't
Uh-huh.
want the mobile authenticator.
That's what I'm saying. Um, yeah, but maybe something you'll get excited about. You know, more profession recipes, John. I mean, come on, get
Uh,
excited.
you know, I was following a I follow a number of people that do economic WoW like I do, and I'm not that impressed with
Not
the
impressed.
recipes that are coming. Nothing that's particularly exciting. Nothing exciting that I saw.
Well, shucky darns.
Shucky
Well,
darns.
shucky darns. Well, let me give you something that I know you are excited about. Like super, super excited about. All the new legendaries.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking way excited about that one new legendary. Let let's finally go to the Emerald Dream so that we can get Warriors and DKs a new fucking bonk stick. God damn. Like really? I'm not even upset that they're getting a legendary, right? They should get a legendary. And it has been a while. But it's the Emerald fucking Dream, right? It's the Emerald Dream, and the legendary that you decide to go with is this generic fucking Shadowmourne fucked Sulfuris's ass axe thing that Firak has that looks like shit. And like all of that would have been irritating but okay, except that it's like this is quite clearly a druid this is a druid zone, it's a druid raid, it's a druid story.
No.
We're gonna get to talk to the druid dragon mommy again. What the fuck are you doing giving these guys? Oh. and the thing is, like, by not making the two-handed bonk stick for the fucking dumbasses again, the fucking strength users. That's the thing. They could have even made it strength and agility, right? Because there are some people, or strength, agility, and int.
They could.
Fucking evokers can use a int thing.
Paladins did.
Survival hunter. Shaman can technically, I don't know why you would unless they also made an int version, because like
holy palace.
Yeah, I mean there are all these fucking people that could have used it if they added other strength. It's a strength thing, and then on top of that, it's like, why would you do this to begin with? You could have had an awesome druid staff or polearm. No.
Because this goes back to where I was telling you earlier. This patch is half-assed. It's honest to God half-assed. If they even put half an ass into it, it just seems like, or like you said earlier, they're literally just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. It doesn't have to make sense.
Fucking like it.
It's literally. Like they probably threw 5 legendary ideas up on the wall, and they're like, hey, we haven't had a two-handed strength weapon in a while. Let's do it.
I kind of wonder if, like, some douchebag at the company got somebody to say, months or even years ago, like, oh, well, they're the next one getting it, and then they came up with this being the thing, and then, like, they're like, well, cool, we got to do a druid thing. It's like, no, it has to be this. I don't know.
My Death Knight deserves a new weapon, damn it. That's pretty much what comes up. It's just like,
Yeah,
hmm.
and that's another thing. Like, when was the last time a fucking tank got a thing? You know, it would have been Shadowmourne for DKs. That's it. Before that, it would have been
Yeah.
fucking Thunder Fury. So almost every fucking tank out there, the only tanking legendary that they could have access to is still like the rarest legendary in the game, Thunder Fury,
Did
right?
you say Thunder Fury was the blade of the
Yeah,
Lightseeker? Oh, okay.
yeah. You know, we'll do Baron's chat. Anal Thunder Fury.
Yeah. And
You know, but like that was the last thing that like most tanks got was Thunder Fury, right?
yeah, vanilla. Yeah.
And and we're not doing that again. So it's like you can't even say that like this is. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, and it's something that like it's not a deal breaker or anything. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's an irritation.
Yeah, it's definitely an irritation. Take
Yeah.
it from but we main hunter in the last Lego that we got in Shadowlands.
Yeah, sucked
What
ass.
whoop de freaking do. I didn't even get one, and you got one, but it was a piece of shit. You never used it, so
I used it for a while, literally because it was my highest item level weapon.
yeah, and
You
that
know.
lasted what until your scepter.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. See, it's what I thought.
and I got it near the end, so it's not like it was something that I used often.
Yeah,
And it was a literal DPS loss to other weapons,
yeah, it's ridiculous
and
what it was.
yeah, it ironically it wouldn't have been. It would have been a really nice legendary weapon if they had left it as they had originally designed it. Instead, they turned around and they made it an active ability, and it actually cost focus and all this other shit. Like originally, it was supposed to just fucking auto fire it off. If they had left it like that, hands down, it would have been the best hunter weapon, and they didn't.
I'm just
And
I'm just
then they,
waiting for them to say, "Ooh, hunters, you're getting mana again."
I wouldn't fucking be surprised, you know. I wouldn't fucking be
That's the way
surprised.
they're going right now, and then they're doing, but uh, from what I'm reading here is like, okay, yeah, like there's you got the Lego, the two-handed strength Lego, and then there's going to be a few other weapons that's got special effects, right?
Yeah,
That's the understanding.
yeah. There are, and I'm kind of wondering, like, you know, hunters got dicked over hard for hours.
Yeah,
Who are they dicking over next? You know,
yeah,
who's the
it's
next person? And the thing is, uh,
probably whatever warrior uses.
well, the, even in the patch where like that bow was better than the fucking legendary Sylvanas bow. It was. It still was not so amazing that like you couldn't get by without it. But for BM in particular, it was particularly nice.
Yeah,
For everybody else, it was like okay, yeah, it's better because it's got the effect. Um, and then they nerf the shit out of it. They're like, well, the problem is it's good, and if it's good, then you don't want any other weapons, and that's not fair. It's like, really? Because you've got the fucking evoker staff right now. It's same fucking deal. This thing's basically a fucking grief torch, and you know the people that get it are excited as fuck because like it's going to be their best, you know, midway through the next tier, right? So what the fuck are you talking about there? So I'm waiting to see if they decide to do the same thing to anybody else.
yep.
They shouldn't, but they shouldn't have done it to hunters either. And it's something that happens repeatedly to hunters.
I mean, it's not hunters is. always kind of been the redheaded stepchild of WoW. It's kind of just everybody gets on the hunter because it's definitely got a more casual side to it. So it gets a bad rap because just people that it's one of those classes that you can play that you don't really have to learn how to play.
I hear that a lot. I don't think that's true.
Oh no, it's definitely true. It's one of those it's easy to play, hard to master type deal things, but nobody takes into consideration the hard to master.
Well,
Like the
that's what I
really good
mean.
hunters are really good, and you enjoy being around a really good hunter.
Oh
But
yeah.
there's a lot of really shitty hunters out there that give hunters a very bad name. So that's my take on that. You know, you know, you go back to Barrage and BFA, and you're like, yeah, that's why people hate hunters.
Honestly, I wish Barrage wasn't as shitty.
Oh, I do too. Barrage is an awesome ability, but
I,
god damn, it's just
but I feel that way about like most abilities now. You
hunters
know?
have a lot of good abilities that are dog shit. Stampede, another one. You're talking about fixing Call of the Wild. That's one of the things in here that they're doing for BM, and but like you said, Call of the Wild. I remember going back to before Dragonfight started, how excited I was for Call of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
every fucking hunter was excited about it because it
I
was such a cool
was
idea.
so excited that I was going to have 7, 8 pets running around killing shit, but then it was no.
Yeah, it's just not it.
It's not good.
It turns out that it's just flat out fucking not good.
Could you imagine using Call of the Wild, have 8 pets out there, and then popping Stampede and having all of those animals?
All of them kill command and
See, that would be awesome, but we can't do
exactly.
that. We can't have fun. We can't have fun. That's too much fun.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
it's really fucking upsetting to me. On the one hand, like I get it in that like they're finally supposedly trying to fix it now, but even what I was reading, like I'm not sure that it's going to fix it. If anything, I feel like because of the tier set, you're probably still going to want to go the same fucking route that you go now. And it's because with the tier set for Beast Mastery, you're going to have the ability to, when you kill command, all your dire beasts kill command too. So having that ability to call dire beasts, have a dire beast come out with your bestial wrath, which is the other effect for the tier set, and then also have random dire beasts come out, having all of those also do kill command and beast cleave. I think that's like they were on the right track with with what they're doing with Call of the Wild, but I feel like it doesn't play into what they're going to do with the tier set, and because of that, it's just going to be kind of garbage.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Like some of this stuff, it sounds really good, but that's kind of how it did before. It's like it sounds good, but it didn't live up to the thrill.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, the thing is, like it always sounds good, and then it's implemented like dog shit.
yeah, I do like the idea that they're removing aspect of the wild too. That was absolutely useless fucking cooldown for BM. Absolute shit. It felt bad having to hit it every time. So
It's even funnier because one of the
having
things that
that
they
gone
said
was
was
easy.
that it was actually an amazing cooldown, but that it felt bad that you had to consider not using other things because of it. It's like, no, it was just bad.
It was just
Like it wasn't fun. It was something that you added that some designer felt may be fun. and
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah, fun. Just like Wind Rider's Guidance fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we all love RNG with our specs, right? Every spec loves RNG, right?
I mean, honestly,
Right?
I I like where we are with marksman right now. In that I always wanted to use the Windrunner guidance, and the fact that they fixed it so that now we can is nice. But the thing is, and I will complain about the RNG. The RNG isn't great, right? At the same time, as we're talking about that, I also have to think about it from the standpoint of um, look at it from the perspective of, can you play the other build instead of it? No,
No.
no, no. It is so far and above the other build that the other build may as well not exist at this point.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and in fact, there are other classes like I was saying before with Frost Mage. I didn't talk about that this time, but I've talked about it with other times. Um, where Frost Mage, it absolutely, they literally wrote the way everyone played it out of the game. It just does not exist anymore. So you have this way that it plays, and then they make this other way good. Can you
But
play
you
can you
don't
play
have
the
the
same
circle
way?
to
No, you
stand in
can't.
anymore.
Yeah. That you can't play the way that you were playing before, either because they write it out of the game, or because they make the way that they want you to play so much better, or shift the talents to make the other way just flat out non-viable, right? And then you add to that, you know, now they're about to make Windrunner's guidance flat out worse than it is now.
Yeah.
It's going to be less RNG, sure, but it's going to be flat out less damage too.
But
Like
is it going to be bad enough to where you take something else?
no,
There's the
I don't think so.
mhm.
But I could be wrong. It might swing people back to the other build, and that's frustrating as well. I want to have, when they launched this expansion, bringing back the talent trees. I was fucking excited, right?
Yeah.
And I
Well, I mean,
wanted to get to the point where it's like, okay, the cool thing about this is we're going to be able um, to have multiple possible builds that are really fun.
no, no, you should have known that.
I really should have.
Yeah,
Because
you really should.
I really should have because as soon as or even before the expansion release, you looked at it and every fucking class, every fucking spec had realistically like one build. There were a couple exceptions here and there, but they had like one build. Um, Sometimes, okay, maybe two, because they would have like, okay, you have an AOE build, and then you have a single target build, which is also another irritation of mine. Like the fact that you have to go back and forth in order to effectively play AOE or single target period is fucking stupid. But that aside, it's like you have one fucking build. You have multiple builds there, but only one is fucking viable. And then multiple times throughout the expansion, they just randomly go through, pick a class, and go, we're going to fix this class. And then when they go to fix the class, what they do is they revamp something else. They make it where you can go play that, and it's usually way more complicated and not fun to play. And then they remove the viability of the way that you were playing before. Now, I've been playing Hunter this entire time, but every other thing that I've played on the side has been destroyed to the point that I don't want to play it.
You need
You
to go
know,
back to Druid.
I don't want to.
I know you don't.
I don't want to, and it bothers me that that's the case. I feel like they have not made good on their promise of having the talent trees come back, because one of the things that they said was that they wanted more choice and more meaningful choice. It's not meaningful choice if the most you can do is like, well, I'm going to take this one utility instead of that one utility. It's not,
True.
you know. So that's kind of where I'm feeling about it at the moment.
Well, no, and you're not wrong. Um, sorry, I got hungry. I decided to eat a donut. Um, but yeah, you've seen me too. It's like I've tried to play other things, thought about playing other things, just never panned out.
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't know. I'm really torn on what you said. Is like I love that we've got talent trees back. At the same point in time, I knew there would be cookie cutter builds. I expected cookie cutter builds.
Oh yeah. I mean, cookie cutter builds are always going to exist.
Yeah, but I'm kind of with you. I'm not. I didn't expect it to be to a point to where I thought they had learned from the original trees that they would make at least the other talents viable. Like I understand that there's an optimal way to spec, but there shouldn't be a bad way to spec.
I would be okay if it's like, well,
That makes
this.
sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense to me. And you know what? I would be okay with something like, okay, this particular way that you play is more difficult, and you get like 100% of damage out of it, and then this way is more like 95, and then this way maybe 92. But you have like multiple different ways, and you can kind of pick and choose, and there's no actual wrong way to play. But there are actual wrong ways to play
There's
right
wrong
now.
ways to play. I
Like,
mean,
I mean, if going another if going another way is decreasing your damage like 10, 15, 20, 50%, whatever the fuck it is, depending on the time, that's an issue to me.
it
It it,
is.
it, sh- it shouldn't be that that significant in my mind.
But this is well, but yeah, it's like I'm trying to pull up the class tree now. Here we go for marks. Finally, God, Wowhead's so stupid. Uh, but yeah, it's God damn. Either my computer's fucking up or this website's fucking up. Uh, yeah, the class tree's not even fucking working. This is a joke. Uh,
I'll tell you what else is interesting. They frequently said that the class tree, not the spec tree, but the class tree, was going to be different in that it was going to be basically a tree that allowed you to have different utilities.
yeah.
You know how much of your basic fucking kit is in the goddamn class tree?
What?
A lot of it. And how much of your damage actually depends on the class tree. A whole lot more of it than you would fucking think, right? And that is, I feel like, another issue.
Well,
Like,
I mean, it's like we mentioned. We talked about it before. It's just like the basic requirement that we have to have death shot. Like it's a
oh yeah,
have to have. You can't have anything else. You have to have death shot, or you're losing what 20-25% of your DPS, something like that, without it.
I don't think it's 25%.
It's a large percentage. I know
It,
that much.
it is absolutely a very large percent. It's large enough that no one in their right mind would play Stampede. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because to me, Death Chakram doesn't really do anything exciting. It's not exciting. Oh, look at me! I threw a chakram. Ooh, I'm Xena Warrior Princess.
Well, I
Right?
mean, look at all the other things too. Like you for AOE you take explosive shot. You don't take barrage. You never take
Yeah,
barrage over explosive shot. Uh, steel trap is kind of niche. Like you don't take the Hydra injector or whatever from poison injection. You always take poison injection.
yeah,
Like the other option is completely pointless. Like it's
yeah. When things are that, and you know
why is
what's
it
really
there?
fucked up about this is I know how Blizzard would respond. Right? They wouldn't respond by buffing the other option or making it more viable. They would make the current option shittier,
And that's
and
what they're doing.
not shittier enough to the point where you wouldn't take it, but shittier enough to the point where it's like, and fucking, you should feel better about it now, huh? Or,
Yeah.
it's
Instead of buffing the other stuff, they've got to just completely ruin what's working now.
yeah,
But which is, and that's always their philosophy. It's like I remember just going back, a year and a half ago to Shadowlands, or 2 years ago now, actually. Um, was it seemed like that instead of nerfing classes, it seemed like that they were starting to take this philosophy of buffing the specs and classes that were falling behind
yeah.
without nerfing the others. Why can't we do that? That's still I probably said this on 3 or 4 podcasts now. Why can't we get to the point? I'm talking with my fucking hands, but you can't see me anyway. But it's why are we always nerfing? Why instead of buffing are we nerfing? Why? Because we're getting towards the end of an expansion anyway. All right, this is the last raid, or at least the last full raid that we're going to get for this expansion probably. Um, we may get a three boss raid or something in between the expansions.
Yeah, probably.
But it's like why when we're getting towards the end of expansion, we're usually nerfing shit and nerfing shit. We're nerfing the world content. We're nerfing the raids. We're nerfing the instances. Um, and all of that stuff. Why can't we just buff these other classes and specs to where they feel good instead of nerfing other things to compensate? Like,
I don't know. They've always got some bullshit reason behind it.
why does a Windwalker monk have to be shit in single target? Why can't they just buff a Windwalker monk single target to where hey they're good?
Yeah,
But they can't do that. They have to nerf other classes single targets because Windwalker can't keep up. It's of course they haven't done that now at all. I mean, Death Knight and Warlock's been on top the entire fucking expansion, and it's not changing. So that's beside the point. Take a deep breath. But
Feels good, don't it?
Oh, fucking hell. I'm just. I don't. And they never explain themselves. They never explain why. It's like I'm looking at these developers' notes, or was looking at these developers' notes. I'm not looking at them now. That they added to the shit, and it's just, it doesn't make sense. It's like, this is not what players are wanting. There's no player out here saying nerf PI. There's no player out here saying my single target healing sucks. I wish I could focus more on single target healing than AoE healing.
Well, there might be, but
no,
like
there's not. There's not. Fuck PvP.
Fair.
Sorry,
you ain't wrong there. Fuck PvP.
Out there. Fuck PvP. But I'm just, I don't understand. And obviously I'm not a game developer, so I guess maybe I can't understand it. But I just don't see why we have to have this at a certain level above everything else. Like just why is Death Chakram so much better than Stampede? Why does it have to be that way?
Because they're fucking lazy.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Literally, all they've got to do is go in there and turn the knob. That's it. All they have to do is make Stampede do more damage. But they can't do it. They don't do it.
You know what the irony there is? They could do that, and if they did, it would become what it was supposed to originally be. It would become a choice. Because Death Chakram, it would become what it should have been to begin with, because if they were roughly equal, what the decision then would be do I want the thing that buffs the rest of my damage, during like a cooldown window, and that I can use extremely often? Or do I want the thing that I only use every couple minutes, and if I'm using it, there may be some things where like the tank may pull it out of it. So there would be clear like upsides and downsides to both.
But it's still a choice.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, it would be a fucking choice.
And that's the thing. And not just a choice, a viable choice.
Yeah.
A choice to where, hey, like, or where during that fight you can say, hey, tank, I'm hitting Stampede. Try not to move. I understand if you have to move, but please don't if you don't, Or
you could plan around that.
Or you could plan around it.
You go, okay, wait until the mechanic goes off,
Again, more choices. Like, do you hit it on cooldown, or do you hang on to it, for a more viable time to hit it? You've got to weigh those pros and cons.
Yeah.
But again, it's not there. And they don't give you that option. You have to take Death Chakram or you're losing too much DPS. You have to take Explosive Shot or you're losing too much DPS. You have to take Unerring Vision because you're losing too much DPS with the other option. You have to take Windrunner's Guidance because it's too much DPS.
Yeah.
You're losing too much to take anything else.
Yep. Exactly.
And it's...
Exactly.
And that's just from Hunter's aspect. I know that there's other classes and specs that are in the exact same issue. To where they have to take a certain talent because the other option is not really an option.
Oh, every fucking class is like that now.
And So, and I get it. Like, if you go back to looking at the old trees, I mean, we both played, back in the good old days of like BC and Wrath and stuff, where you can make bad choices, or you can make less optimal choices. Was what it
Yeah,
was. They were less optimal choices. But still, if you knew how to play with those choices that you made, you didn't suck.
I felt like you had the same thing in Shadowlands to an extent. Like there were
It,
choices that people didn't make as much because they weren't optimal, but if you knew what you were doing, you could play it optimally, and I feel like that's basically gone away.
oh, it has. You are. Well, I feel like with the Shadowlands trees, I call them the mop trees. That's what I call them, because I think they come out in mop, if I remember correctly. Um, they got rid of the class trees in mop. You were given less choices, but
Yeah.
not only were you given less choices, there was still a pretty large gap between the cookie cutter build and the other options. More
Oh
often
yeah.
than not.
More often than
Um,
not, you did have like, in fairness, there were times where you had three options and only one was viable, or
right.
you had like three options and only two were viable, or something like that.
You would have the rare exception to where you would have a choice. Like you, but it was rare.
Yeah.
Like I remember at this in Shadowlands when I first joined the guild and I was playing mage. Like I think it was like a 2% difference between taking Rune of Power over. I forget what the other option was. Like Rune of Power was better, but you could take this other option and it wasn't shitty.
Oh, taking anything but Rune of Power has always been shitty, unfortunately.
Well, no, because I did my research on it. I forget what it was. It's like it on a really really mobile fight, like a fight where you had to constantly move. Like it was better to take. I forget what the other talent was other than Rune of Power, and it wasn't horrible to take it over Rune of Power. Like Rune of Power was definitely better,
Well,
but
the, the reason that okay, that's fair.
but it
Like
wasn't.
if you're
But
on
it
a
wasn't
fight
bad to take the other option.
where you literally couldn't make use of Rune of Power, like I understand what you're saying,
Yeah,
but the thing about Rune of Power that made it so powerful was,
it was a
in
Rune of Power.
addition to, yeah, in addition to just flat out being more powerful in general, the fact that they also worked it into your cooldown.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just that you could drop it and that would be good. It was also that it would also be in your fucking cooldown, so you could rotate through it and have it every time you also had your cooldown up. That made it so far and above the other options that it was the only real option. And if there was a fight where I I'm trying to remember what it was. It's something like, if there was a fight where you had to be mobile something like 50% of the time or something like that, then you wouldn't use Rune of Power.
What was it? Oh, is this it? No, God. Oh, maybe it's it. No, that's the fucking fire mage tree. God damn it. Well, no, maybe it is. Yeah, Incanter's Flow was the name of the ability other than Ring of Power.
Yeah.
That's it. Like in Kenner's Flow, it wasn't Rune of Power, but it was still something that you could use if there was a lot of movement going on.
Yeah, it was nowhere near Rune of Power, unfortunately.
No, but it was an option, and if you knew how to play it right, you wasn't losing a whole lot compared to Rune of Power.
No, you were losing a whole lot. The only reason that you weren't is because there were occasionally fights where you were so mobile that you couldn't make use of Rune of Power. So it wasn't even a problem with Rune of Power. It was a problem of the way Rune of Power was designed made it unusable in some fights.
Well, yeah. What I'm looking at now, this is a Fire Mage. It's not Frost Mage.
Yeah.
So, but this is a Fire Mage build, and the optimal build was to take Encounter Flow. This was
in Shadowlands?
Yes.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, you took everything on the left side except for you would take Shimmer over, and that was just a movement thing. So you took everything. Like you took Fire Starter, Encounter Flow, Flame On, Frenetic Speed, Flame Patch, and Kindling.
Huh.
I don't know enough about Fire Mage. It's just the first thing that come up with a mage tree. I'm just trying to find the old talents, and that was what I was looking at. I think Encounter's Flow was something like 8% less DPS behind Rune of Power at one point. It wasn't. It was, and it was near the very beginning of Shadowlands too. I think his was 9.0, 9.05.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Lee about it.
Yeah, it probably.
Like I never played.
Question, but yeah.
Maybe there's something weird with fire where that was more optimal, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But again, I just remember what little I played in Mage. That was one of the options. So, but yeah, getting back, rambled off again. Jesus Christ. I'm on a roll today. Where the fuck are you? Yeah, we still haven't even hit the best of it. Goddamn, it is a horrible transition, but we'll transition because I've ranted on too much as it is. Yeah, another thing you seem happy about. You goddamn, I may end up going on a rant on this one too. We're finally getting flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking
Blizzard.
exciting?
God damn shit. I'm in a mood now. God damn, you got me rolling.
Yeah. That pisses me off so much.
That's what we want, some more Pathfinder achievements.
Yeah. It really it doesn't irritate me. It angers me that they're bringing back a Pathfinder achievement and that you will finally be able to use regular flying, which is worse than dragon flying, and that it's going to be locked behind this Pathfinder achievement. People like me with the disability, I would be willing to do the shittier flying if I didn't have to do dragon flying. And now, and for me, it's probably less of a problem because I've done so much in the fucking expansion, right?
Yeah.
But like the fact that the people who are the most affected by your shitty ass dragon flying, or as they're now calling it, like dynamic flying or some stupid shit.
Yes.
Yeah, dynamic flying. Isn't that a great name?
No,
but the fact that
the fact that
these are the people that need to have regular flying the most, and a lot of them are not going to have done a lot of that shit to begin with. So you're telling these people that they have to deal with dragon flying and do everything for months on end so that they can get a bunch of fucking achievements. And after they get the achievements, then they can go and they can get the regular shitty flying that is actually better for them
Yep.
for like fucking medical reasons, or because they don't like the dragon flying for whatever fucking reason. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Blizzard?
It's
It it upsets me a lot.
who knows why they're even doing it. Like it just I really don't know. Like is it honestly a way to where they're like, we don't want players to use regular flying, so
I mean,
like
you've
if you
got
really
you've got
want
dragon
regular
flying
flying, you
first
can
fucking
get it.
thing.
Yeah.
You've got dragon flying first fucking thing. So in the past, they've made this fucking excuse where, well, we're doing it so that you're forced to, go on foot everywhere because we think that it's better if you experience it from the
Oh yeah.
ground at least once. And,
Yeah.
and, and that's bullshit on the face of it.
Well yeah.
But it almost makes sense. It's like, okay, that's a bullshit reason, but okay, I get what you're fucking saying at least, right? Um, but this, like, what the fuck? This is literally, it's like you have dragon flying from like your first 5 minutes on the goddamn Isles, okay? And after that, every alt you have has fucking dragon flying. Why are you making people do this for regular flying? Why did you restrict regular flying to begin with on the Dragon Isles? You knew that everybody was gonna. You were so excited. You're like, oh look, we've got fucking dragon flying. Like we've never done dragon flying before. I mean, come on. Your entire idea was that people were going to love this flying so much better. Why are you making it hard for people that have an actual reason to not like it to go back to the old flying? That's horseshit.
Because they can. I mean, same reason there were Pathfinder achievements before.
Yeah, it's fucking horseshit is what it
Just to
is.
say we've added this new fancy achievement to the, you know, yeah, so
Well, I'll tell you what, it fucking makes me mad. It does. It makes me mad. And I know people, other than me, that have literally quit WoW over this dragon flying horse shit. And I know that they have this feeling that like it's the best thing ever and everybody loves their dragon flying stuff. I understand that that's how they feel about it. But it's not fucking the case. It's not. There are a lot of people that have fucking quit over this, and it makes me really upset that they're still on this track of trying to force their horse shit, active dynamic flying with all this extra shit that makes people sick down our throats. I think it's cool for the people that like it. I get it. Very cool. Make it optional.
even me, and I don't have your issue, but you know, I prefer regular flying over dragon flying.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
I
be
I, I, I,
surprised.
w- I wish regular flying was a little faster, but I I just it's nice to be able, and that's to me that's I still use flight points. Just because I can set a flight point to go somewhere, and then I can go take a piss and come back, and then I'll still be,
Oh yeah,
and get
me
a
too.
drink and whatever, and like so, like dragon flying's great for the quickness, and some of the like the flying races can be fun to do on occasion. I don't mind them; they're easy for quests to get done. But I get what you're saying. It's like I would still, and maybe it's that old school mentality because I still remember you know, saving my gold for months to finally be able to buy Flying and Burning
Yeah.
Crusade. So, so I, Flying still holds that special place in my heart just because of how hard I worked to get it in the first place. Uh, and but yeah, I don't know. The Pathfinder achievement is so outdated. Like it was outdated in Legion when it came out. So I'm like, fuck.
I don't know of anybody that's just like, man, isn't that fun? I really want
It did
that.
come out in Legion. It come out in what? I forgot because like, goddamn, I remember that now. It's like I never got Pathfinder for WoD. I never did it.
Yeah.
I couldn't find WoD forever until they was it was Shadowlands where they finally released Flying and WoD.
I don't know.
It was
I do know
something.
that
It was something like that. If you didn't have Pathfinder and WoD, you couldn't fly up to like Shadowlands. Like it was so stupid.
I do remember that when I came back to the game in BFA, I was so mad. Like I did. I went through and I did all that bullshit. I did. I went through and I got it all and I pissed and moaned and cussed the entire fucking time because it made me angry. But I didn't see a reason for it back then, and I still don't.
No,
I still don't.
I still remember because every now and then I still like the flirt around playing on the EU servers.
Yeah.
And you know, EU's a completely separate account, so none of your achievements that you've gotten on the American side are on the EU side. So it's completely different. You know, it's like starting a brand new account. So I remember that because you could pick where you leveled. What was it BFA when they started that? It was either BFA or Shadowlands where you could pick where you leveled.
I don't know.
The timey, the chromie time, whatever.
I remember doing it in Shadowlands and BFA.
Yeah, and so the quickest quotes was WoD. But you couldn't fly in WoD if you didn't have Pathfinder achievement. You could fly in every other zone, every other place.
No, not Legion.
Yeah, you could.
No,
you could fly in Legion, but you couldn't fly in WoD.
You could not. I know for a fact because I had to go through and get the achievement for it.
I think in Shadowlands is when they released Legion.
No,
pretty sure.
Maybe in Shadowlands.
Yeah, I think it was Shadowlands. I remember in BFA. I'm with you too. In BFA, you couldn't find Legion or WoD without the Pathfinder achievement. I remember that. But yeah,
I just remember.
Still the annoying.
I remember.
Pathfinder sucks. That's where we're going with this.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It sucks. It sucks. Great big donkey dick. And I don't mean some showdown in Mexico that you're real excited to see.
It's a giant horse cock. But
I don't know of a single person. I know that there are some people out there that will defend Pathfinder achievements just to be fucking dicks about it. But realistically, I don't know of anyone that's like, oh yeah, it's great. I really like Pathfinder achievements.
Just achievement whores. It's only ones that give a shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
People who just go for achievements.
That's fine, but then to lock it behind that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can be an achievement whore sometimes, but then to lock flying behind that's a fundamental part of the game at this point. It is fundamental.
All right, we're going to try and end this on a positive note.
Good luck.
It's kind of a positive note. It probably won't take too long to go over, but just I, it's a positive thing with the patch. It's very positive. It's positive. It's not very positive, but the catalyst is available week 1.
Yeah,
Positive. There we go.
Catalyst is available week 1. You're not wrong.
Positive.
Well, sort of.
Well,
It's available week 1, but you gain charges
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. So it literally doesn't matter. It's still going to be 8 weeks before you can really use it for your tier set. Yay!
Yay! Yay! So hopefully you get some drops.
I actually understand what Blizzard said about it too, and what they said was, it warmed my heart a little bit. They said like they wanted more casual players to be able to actually access their tier sets earlier, right? So people like people like your mom, not your mom, but like, people that are playing the game and they're not fucking hardcore raiders, and they mostly do like world content and shit. They wanted those people to be able to access shit quicker than they had been. And I do feel like that's a good thing. Is it going to work out well the way that they've set it up? That I couldn't tell you. And I do feel like if you're going to make it available at the start, which is what I've advocated for the entire time.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive thing. Yeah.
Don't do this every 2-week bullshit. Just give us one every week. Because you know that your RNG system is stupid.
Here's my thing. Well, why lock charges? Why just not let, if we get gear out of Mythic Plus or out of the raid that can be upgraded, that's in a tier slot, why can't we go change it to tier? Right off the bat. Why is it locked behind charges?
I will do you one further than that. Why are we still fighting with different classes and having multiple different types of tier tokens? Have one tier token. Everybody roll. How fucking hard is that?
It's same with Master Loot. We can't have that either.
Can't have Master Loot. And people,
Group Loot's absolute garbage. Group Loot's absolute garbage.
Oh yeah.
Personal Loot was 10 times better than Group Loot.
Yeah.
Group Loot's absolute shit.
I said that back in fucking Shadowlands.
Yeah. At least with Personal Loot, you knew you was getting something, you know, that maybe somebody else could use if you couldn't use it. But the shitty thing is with Group Loot is that, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a few drops that somebody's already seen a million times, or it's
We get shit that
I could shit on that for a week.
We get shit that that fucking like we get shit that we don't even have someone in the fucking raid that could fucking use it,
How much Demon Hunter Warlock tier have we seen this?
How many times did we not have a fucking rogue with us, and the fucking daggers out the fucking ass?
No, we have one rogue and like 20 agility daggers.
Oh yeah.
So the only person that can fucking use agility daggers, gets, every boss that has one drops it. Fuck.
Yeah. I remember in the pre-patch, that's when I knew it was going to be bad, and then during the pre-patch when they had like 3 fucking legendary bows drop or something like that,
Remember,
and
I
no
never got
hunter
one.
in the raid.
Yeah,
That's when you
suckers.
know. That's when you fucking know, man. Oh,
Yeah, what? Yeah, wasn't it something like that with the Razagath bow? Wasn't that what it was? Was the Razagath bow like it dropped and there wasn't a single hunter in the raid or something like that?
yep. No,
Yeah,
no, it
or like
wasn't
a
the Razag. I'm sure it happened with the Razagath bow too. No, I mean the Sylvanas bow. Literally, there was a raid. It was
yeah,
something that was really talked about. It was a pug raid or something like that, and they sit there and they go out and they beat the shit out of Sylvanas. 3 of the fucking bows dropped. That was almost all their fucking loot was the fucking bow. And so 3 bows dropped, not a single fucking hunter.
yep,
You know? And that's particularly painful for all the hunters out there. But it happens like that all the time. Like uh there was a time this raid tier where we had what was it like 3 swords or some shit like that drop. We've got a guy that's been waiting on a sword this entire fucking patch, just unable to fucking get the goddamn sword. Everybody else in the raid fucking has a sword. Like he just can't fucking catch a goddamn break. And it finally drops, and he's not there, which that's shitty on him, and he's a fucking idiot for not being there. But at the same time,
yeah.
like, are you fucking kidding me?
Nope. It's Blizzard. They're not kidding you. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just yeah. But still, kind of positive. We'll, you know, take our small little victory. Take our hamburger with a dick on it and be happy. Because at least
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
a juicy hamburger. So
it's one of those things. Who knows? Maybe they'll implement it in a way that I'll be happy. I doubt it.
I
But
doubt
you
it
know me,
too.
I I'm an angry motherfucker, so I'm never happy.
Old man yelling at clouds. Get off my lawn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's you.
Old
So
man yells at cloud.
stupid cloud. Uh, but all right. That's that's most of it. We've been going almost 2 hours. You know that? You
God
watch
damn.
the clock. Yeah.
Guess we had a
We,
little talking to do.
yeah. Well, I mean, what? It's been 3 weeks. Yeah.
Has
Well,
it?
yeah. This
Shit.
isn't. This is no longer WoW Weekly. This is WoW whenever the fuck we feel like talking about it.
Yep.
Um. So, but no, it's our obviously our lives. We both kind of took a break from the game, and that's that's I think that's good for our sanity's sake.
Oh, absolutely. It's good for our
So
sanity.
that's worked out good. I'm, yeah, well, we'll try and I'll try to yell at you more. I've gotten, a few more things to set up here. I've got a new streaming computer. I've got to get rolling. Definitely help with stuff. I've got a whole new setup here. Like I literally have this giant ass desk to myself now, which is nice. Like I've got 4 monitors on it now. I've just got to get everything set up. Shit.
Nice.
So like, I'm getting there. I'm still getting there. I moved in. I finally got the rest of my shit in the apartment. So all of my stuff is here. All of my stuff is here. It's not organized or set up or anything, but it's here. So at least I have that much
I
time.
mean, it's a fucking start.
It's a start. Um, but no, I'm getting there. I need to buy another monitor. I think I'm not sure. I'm debating whether I need another monitor or not. See how the streaming computer works to see if I need to buy a graphics card for it or not.
Why do you think you need another monitor?
Because I feel like having two on the streaming computer and then three for my main computer is what I'm kind of looking for. But I
God
think I
damn.
need another one. Just for all the productivity stuff I've been dabbling in, I think I need another one. It
Yeah,
seems like I need another.
I'm here.
So
I am hearing in my head like the screams of moms and dads everywhere talking about all that fucking screen time that you're getting right now.
it's a myth. It's a myth. It's been debunked a long time ago. Like, yeah, it can make your eyes tired, but it does not actually hurt your eyes. It's a myth. Uh, so, but yeah, it's so I'm debating that one. Well, one of my monitors is like really tiny. It's only a 22-inch monitor, and I hate it. So does that make more sense of why I'm kind of wanting to get rid of it?
I could see wanting to replace that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wanting to get rid of that one for another one. I've got a laptop coming, so I won't have to take my desktop to work anymore. And then I've left one of my monitors at work. So I will have a dual monitor set up at work so I can do this with that, with the laptop. And so I've got that, and then I've got my gaming monitor. I have this, I think it's a 34-inch curved Dell widescreen 4K monitor that my girlfriend had when I moved in, and she doesn't use it, so I've now claimed it. And then I've got this little 22-inch monitor over here that I've got to the streaming computer right now, which is why I'm thinking I need another monitor to go with it, because I think I would like a dual screen with it,
Yeah.
and then I would want a triple setup with my main gaming rig.
Okay.
Just so I can do like I can do my web browsing, I can watch my videos and play my games all at the same time. Uh, so yeah, I'm getting there. So, which is why I'm thinking I need a graphics card for my streaming computer now, is because it's only got one HDMI out. It's an older motherboard, so it's got one HDMI, a DVI, and a VGA out. Yeah, it has a
God damn.
VGA out.
It's
Yeah, it's
got a
old.
VGA out.
Yeah, it's got
You
an
aren't kidding.
87.
That shit's old.
It's got an i7 8700K. So forget what it is. It's an ASRock. I think it's a Z370 board. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Z370.
Whatever it is, it's old.
It's old, but that's why I'm debating on whether I need a graphics card or not. Also, because everything I've looked up says that I shouldn't need a graphics card. At the iGPU in the 8700K should be good enough for just streaming. Um, but we'll see. I haven't tried it yet. I've got the capture card. I've got everything set up. I just haven't actually tested it yet. So, and I'm also debating on getting a soundboard too. That would fix a lot of my audio issues that I have. If I learn how to do that.
Trying
So,
to take Zeta's job over here.
I'm just trying to be, I am getting settled, so I'm getting to a point where I'm enjoying this more. Like, I've got a new reaction video out, so anybody says, go click on that too, because it's, yeah, me, if you enjoyed it, the poor bastard that enjoys listening to us talk back and forth and rant about shit, you'll enjoy that shit too, I promise. It's what I need too, and I need Misek reaction videos as well. That should be another thing. I'm going to, that's what I should do. Just find, Ian has a Costas videos and let you react to those. See,
I'm positive I. You know what? A lot of his content, when it comes up, I always listen to it and I go, okay, what he said kind of makes sense. And then I see like the result of what he says and I get mad.
get mad, ooh, angry, ooh.
It's always like, oh, well, that sounds good. And then they implement it and it's like, oh, God damn it.
Yep. Well, alrighty. I'm going to wrap it up. I have to actually go. We hit the 2 hour mark. 2 hours and 5 minutes now. Holy shit! Of course, some of that was loading, starting screen stuff. So not quite 2 hours, and me just talking nonsense. I rambled more than you did, I think.
You might have, yeah.
The
I,
fuck.
I doubt it, but it's possible.
I'm starting to debate. But all right, thanks everybody. There's a couple viewers it says on here. Nobody chatted, but thank you for whoever watched. Do appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Click the links, follow, like, all that wonderful stuff. Send me nasty emails to tell how much of a bastard Misek is. All those wonderful things. Do it. So
I think that
yeah,
would actually be great. You get actual hate mail because of me.
I would love hate mail. I really would. Send me hate mail. Send me hate mail. My email address is right here on the fucking screen. Do it. Do it. No. But all right. Yeah, no. Peace and love to everybody. Wonderful things. Yeah. Fine. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.